So here's the main topic. I like John Leguizamo, but just like I like Grace. But oh man, this is where I have to say, all right, hold on. Let's bring this up first. And I got to make sure to get the timestamp. Yeah, John Leguizamo is in the news. He's in Variety talking about Luigi. We all love Luigi. And the way that movie pundits and those in media are covering the Mario movie is another culture war event. It's like Maverick all over again. It's like that people, it seems to me at least from the traction and the results from the box office.
The cultural war is beyond at this point.
What's that, CJH?
I think the cultural war is beyond at this point. I mean,
well, I don't.
What they're doing with that Spider-Man trailer.
Well, I don't want to be naive to how it could. It can impact the box office to some extent, and it can impact the review community is how they treat reviews. Kelly, God, shush.
Sorry, making a good point, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so he is in the news talking about how, and this is where I made the thumbnail was we're Geeks and Gamers, right? I do feel this is a move the goalpost moment because he actually used the term disinclusion.
What?
Yes, John Leguizamo. Because back in the day when they made the live action movie, he was I guess you could say race bent, and that's great. That's great. But if we are really going to have an inclusive society for everyone, these mantles, as long as these mantles can potentially be and represent many different races, but he is like putting his flag in the ground, taking his marking in the sand, and like, no, I was one of what was a rarity, was a race bent character in the 90s, right? And now it should be, it should be represented by Latinos, Luigi. This is what he's saying, even though we all know Mario and Luigi are Italian brothers, right? So this is where we're going to the point where I do feel like this is a move the goalpost moment. And this is something that the anti-SJW crew, the crowd, the Geese and Gamers have said would happen. And it is happening. So I wanted to get people's reaction. Let's just have a nuanced conversation without like jumping the shark ourselves, Brucifer says he just wants attention and he is mad they didn't call him.
To be fair, I think Geeks and Gamers has been pretty tame compared to the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rhea says Luigi has the biggest character arc in the movie. Yeah. All right. Strange Marvel theories. I've been doing YouTube 7 years and only have 9 subs. I just like putting my theories to videos. Well, we're going to help get you more. Go sub to Strange Marvel Theories, everyone. A great friend of the show. Here's what well, it also benefits him too because he is in politics now with the Daily Show. I don't mind the Daily Show. I like the Daily Show, but John Leguizamo whines too much. The OG movie is basically called classic, and the new one looks gasp like the video game. Yeah. All right, let's get to his quote here. Bring up the Variety article.
God, he really hasn't been funny since like the early 2000s.
In No Man's Sky.
What's that?
I just saw Brucifer in No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. This is another thing that I'm not really going to comment on. But I've been seeing this Don Lemon's misogyny at CNN. There's a lot of stuff that there is a lot of truth to legacy media and the things going on there. It's very in projection that he attacks a lot of different people, but his behavior seems pretty bad. Allegedly. Don Lemon. I'm like, oh my goodness. The way he treats some people is just horrendous, is from what I've heard. That was the other topic earlier, though. Okay, so here's Variety. Former Luigi actor John Leguizamo says, hell no, for watching Super Mario Brothers. Due to casting, they messed up the inclusion. John Leguizamo is doubling down on criticizing Universal and Illumination animated film The Super Mario Brothers, which casts Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. Now, I don't even know. I also do feel that this is we know that Chris Pratt has lots of people for social justice have it in for Chris Pratt for some reason. I think in his situation mainly because he's openly religious, and he will openly say, "I'll pray for you," and people are like, "That really?"
Heaven forbid somebody be religious. God damn.
But as far as I can tell, he hasn't done anything to justify the hatred that he gets online.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, I think when there was an event happened, he openly said, "I'll pray for you." That is supposed to be, if he believes that and he says that, you don't have to believe that there's a God or anything like that. But if someone that believes it says they're going to pray for you, I mean, I'm not telling people what to do, but you should understand that means he cares for you, right? He doesn't deserve hatred and vitriol for that. That's the problem. Chris Pratt says it over and over. He's not religious, but he still says, "I'll pray for you." And that triggers people in this day and age, How the hell do I get rid of this? What the hell? Okay. No, I will not be watching. They could have included a Latin character. Okay, I agree with that part. I think in the cast, there's probably room for it, but I'm not going to cry if it doesn't happen either. And that is actually a huge market. Watching Grace Randolph's Movie Math, that is one of the biggest growing markets on all the demographics because she breaks it down who's actually buying the tickets. Latin customers is one of the biggest growth markets in movies right now, So I agree they could have had one, but I'm not going to cry that they don't in Mario. If there was a Mario character that I could think of that's Latin, I don't know. Like I was groundbreaking, and then they stopped the groundbreaking. They messed up the inclusion. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folk. We're 20% of the population, the largest people of color, and we are underrepresented. Now, that last part I actually do agree with, but there's some progress being made. Just look at Blue Beetle, Blue Beetle is a great moment, and they are working on it. But making a culture war moment when there doesn't need to be, I have to call that out, right? Wait, let me see this. Surprisingly, Anya is of Latinx descent. She is Argentinian. Or I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Argentinian.
She is from Argentina. Okay. That the country has strong roots in Italian culture. But I guess since she's but since she isn't the character being criticized, she doesn't count. No, she does count. Rhea, that's a great, thank you for including that. Because he says in the article that they could have included, not just Luigi, just cast some Latin folk. And if that's part of it, if that's part of her heritage, then that means he is incorrect, right? They did include someone. I didn't know that about Anya Taylor-Joy. That's great. So there you go, John Leguizamo. And as far as I could tell, Peach was just a white girl, I guess. If you're going back to her origins, they didn't really specify her nationality, but using Anya Taylor-Joy. But let me see. Okay. I hear the criticism about inclusion of darker skinned ethnicities as marginalized communities, but his insidious nature makes the comment disingenuous due to his motives. Okay. He does have ulterior motives and agenda for bringing this up, getting attention for his new ventures into the Daily Show. And let's let's not play dumb and naive about people, how they participate in the culture war. He knows this is going to trigger certain people. I'm not triggered at all. I just think this whole moment around the Mario movie is another. They could have got Senior Nerd as Luigi. I love John Leguizamo, but bro, I don't even know what that means. Don't make me say, I don't know. Lazago, you know. He is in the John Wick's franchise. Great. And I like him. I like him as Luigi. I think he made that movie fun. In 2022, Chris Pratt shared that really I'm not a religious person, adding, religion has been as oppressive as F for a long time.
I don't know what the deal is.
Shout your mouth? What? Me? Oh, it means shut your mouth. Oh, okay. Okay. So what are your thoughts on John Leguizamo there? Brian, CJH, what do you think?
Well, to each his own. I mean, he's allowed to have that opinion, I guess.
No, he's allowed, but then we are allowed to, then we're comment on it. Yeah.
We're allowed to comment on it. Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on it because I just don't pay much attention to John Leguizamo. I haven't watched The Daily Show in years.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you think that just because he was race bent before that means that character should now be Latin all the time? I mean, I don't think that's a true I actually don't think that's true progressiveness in the future when there's more representation where we kind of not like make up for old, where it hasn't been represented in the past, but we got a more even playing field of, that we get to a point where mantles, if there's not a specific reason to keep it as a certain race, that they could be played by anyone, right?
Yeah.
In the future. So
it's true. Like I said, that's what I said. It doesn't bother me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Cool. It doesn't bother you. All right. CJH, what do you think?
Pretty much the same as Brian. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Absent Good is here. If you're just getting here, remember to smash the like. We got a 30 like goal on our streams now, and I would appreciate all your support to help us get there. Him not watching a movie because of inclusion is ridiculous. He needs to go back and look at the history of Mario. He's just sour he wasn't picked to be in the movie. Okay. And I wouldn't have been against